Following the success of Nocturne Totem, Treyarch would then release zombie maps on in every single DLC period. The next map that actually came after Nocturne Totem was Verruckt, and Verruckt, before we get into it, in my opinion, is the scariest zombies map. I still think to this day it's the scariest zombies map. Other people might disagree with me on this statement, but I think this is a majority agreement. And unfortunately, I think as the map's being remastered more and more of the scariness about the map disappears. But anyway, let's get into the map Verruckt. So Verruckt is a kind of a huge upgrade compared to Nocturne Totem. Verruckt introduced a lot of new features that we would see in zombies, and stuff that it basically is main staple zombies now. So let's get into it, shall we? So one of the things I want to bring up, and it's probably the most iconic thing about this map, is the perks. We have Juggernog, we have Speed Cola, we have Double Tap, and we have Quick Revive. And while Quick Revive was fucking useless on World at War Solo, Quick Revive would become one of the most useful perks in Solo. Jug would automatically become one of the most useful perks of all time. In fact, probably the most useful perk. It's the one perk every zombies player will definitely get. Speed Cola is such a clutch perk, especially if you're using the likes of LMGs or even shotguns, because some shotguns have really slow reload times and such. But most important, and last but not least, we have Double Tap. While its original 1.0 version was not good at all, its 2.0 version that we're seeing in BO2, which I'll talk a little bit more when we get around to the transit video. That'll be a fun video, let's just say that. It's the Double Tap was still useful if some weapons you wanted to increase the fire rate. But me personally, I never really picked up Double Tap. I normally, if I'm playing co-op, I'll pick up Jug, Speed, and Quick Revive. If I'm playing solo, just Jug and Speed. Anyway, Verruckt also introduced a brand new feature into zombies, and that is the moving mystery bots. So obviously in Nocturne Totem, the mystery bots were stuck in the help room, which, while that's great and all, for a map like Verruckt, where there's multiple bots locations, every now and then you need the bots to move to a different location. This is to kind of prevent players from just camping one location for for the possibility to hit overpowered weapons, and it also forces the player to explore the map more. If the bot's location is in the power room, but then goes over to the Thompson room, then you're gonna go to the other side of the map just to go and hit the bots if you don't have good weapons already. Now, Verruckt also introduced this this new feature, which is a feature that has kind of stuck with zombies for almost all of its maps. I think there's a few maps that don't have this, but the majority of the maps do, and that is a power switch. A power switch obviously being in the power room, and this iconic piece of objective, let's say this iconic objective that you need to do to activate the perks, and later on in the likes of Derice and BO1, Pack-a-Punch, and so on. But yeah, the power switch was very brand new, and it gave zombie players who played this map for the first time an objective to do. Now, Verruckt has actually appeared in quite a lot of games as well, just like Nocturne Totem. That's a common theme you're going to see with a lot of the World at War maps, is they get remastered in future games, whether it's the likes of Verruckt being in Blackout, or Shinonuma being in Vanguard. Which, by the way, Shinonuma Vanguard is probably the best map in Vanguard, which is funny. I'll talk about it more in my Shinonuma video. But yeah, of course. Now, with World at War Verruckt, you still play as the Unknown Marines, although the Marines actually have names now. And one of them, funny enough, is Tank Dempsey, a character which you will get very familiar with as the storyline goes on. But you also had John Banana, Smokey, and Gunner. And I don't remember I think that's all four. Yeah, Banana, Smokey, Gunner, Tank. Those are the four. Now, all those characters actually die at the end of Verruckt, apart from Tank. Tank Dempsey, I believe, gets like intoxicated or something, I believe, and then is obviously captured by Group 935. Now, Verruckt has a very unique feature, and we'll see this feature come back in the Etzel Zombies map later, Carrier. But what Verruckt does is Verruckt splits the players in half in which spawn room they spawn in. There's the jug side, and then there's the quick revive side. In my personal opinion, I personally prefer the jug side because it allows me to open the power and then save up enough money for jug and no issues. And I also think, although I think the doors are the same price, I don't know, it just feels quicker on the jug side compared to the quick revive side. But I don't mind either or, to be fair. And something I actually forgot, and this is something I'm just scrolling through the COD wiki, I'm going to link that below as well, is there's actually traps on Verruckt. There's the electric traps, which the electric traps are, if I'm correct, used quite a bit in the high rounds strategies, because a lot of the weapons end up being very crap towards you know, the high rounds, like round 30 plus, basically. This map, Verruckt, in my opinion, is still one of the, like, I think it's definitely an underrated map of World at War. A lot of people will say, oh yeah, I really like Verruckt, I really like Shino Numa. I personally like Verruckt and Nut, but I think Verruckt still has a special place in my heart, because this is the first zombies map that made me generally creep out, or like creep the fuck out of zombies. And it made me feel like, oh shit, this shit is kind of scary, you know? Like, younger me, like 10 years ago would have fucking, like, would have been shit scared, basically. And there's a lot of, like, freaky shit that happens. Like, obviously the dentist chair. If you press the dentist chair, you can hear a scream with, like, a drill noise. And stuff like that. And it's just wild. Now let's get into some trivia bits about Verruckt, because Verruckt has some trivia bits. So, obviously I mentioned it kind of earlier, but all the people part of Tank Dempsey's crew, out of the Marines, died apart from Dempsey himself, who was actually captured alive by Group 935. Smokey and Banana were killed in the asylum, and I believe Gunner somehow managed to escape, which is a bit wild. I didn't expect that. Obviously, something else which is worth mentioning. So in one of the rooms, I believe it's where Speed Color is, there's a lot of blood-related writing and stuff on the walls. And this is actually Peter McCain's writing, and his hand, funny enough, is the hand on the power switch. Yeah, Peter McCain will also show up in the Nets map, Shino Numa, which once again we'll talk more about Shino Numa, of course. But yeah, it's believed that Samantha kind of made his head go insane, and he was just writing a bunch of writing and stuff, which resulted in the Speed Color room of being that. Now for Keynote.Toten, obviously when you use the teleport and you come out, you have a bunch of different rooms. You have like a 5 related room, but you also have a Verruckt related room, which is the dentist chair. Now this dentist chair is kind of undamaged and more modern, which I think probably doesn't mean it's actually like a reference to Verruckt, but yeah. A little bit. This is a funny one. This is a funny one I just saw. On the Xbox 360 version of Black Ops 1. So if you play Verruckt on Black Ops 1, if you go to a friends menu while someone is playing Verruckt, it'll misspell it as Verrukt. Obviously not having the C in Verruckt, of course. And this is the wildest one, I think. This is the wildest thing. The wildest piece of trivia, actually. So, where the fountain is, and we'll talk about the thing you can do in Black Ops 3, which is really cool. The fountain, if you no-clip under the fountain, you see this as a mounted MG42. Now, with Black Ops 3, I think Treyarch kind of paid homage to that by making it so if you throw a grenade at the fountain, there'll be a blood that pours out of the statue, which, yeah, is wild. Now, here's a little fun fact. Here's a BO3 fun fact, and this will be the final fun fact of Verruckt before we call it here. It is possible for a player to go into a different spawn room if the power is not on, if they use the Anywhere But Here gum, which obviously Anywhere But Here kind of works as a... Oh, it will kind of work as... Because, like I say, if you only have the jug room open and the quick revive room... If you only have the jug room and the quick revive room, yeah, you're going to be teleported from one to the other. But yeah, that's just a little brief talk about Verruckt. In my opinion, I really like this map, and this map was a huge upgrade on Not Done Toten. I still nostalgically prefer Not Done Toten because of just how simple and bare bones it is. Like, if I want to play zombies for like 10 minutes, then so be it, you know? I'll play Not Done Toten. But Verruckt, for me, also holds a special place in my heart because it's still the scariest like zombies map for me. Like, I go play the World at War version, and especially the World at War Verruckt sprinters. Like, fucking hell, man. Like, it's insane. Anyway, that's all for this video. Obviously, the next Let's Talk About series episode will be Shido Numa. With Shido Numa, there was a comment that was brought up in my Not Done Toten video, which I want to bring up in the Shido Numa video. But yeah, that's all. I'll see you Muppets in the next one. Peace.